You're listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
It's a big world out there, and you're just looking for a pat on the back or head. You run around the city, searching for a place to bark, working your tail off with your nose to the ground, sniffing for a few scraps, hoping someone will throw you a bone. You take each lead, collar after collar, hoping one day to take a bite out of success and become the top dog. Fortunately, you come home each day to open arms, open cans, a drink waiting for you, and a comfortable place in front of the TV set. You know you've got it good, really good, because after all, it's a doggy dog world out there. Pet Life Radio presents It's a Doggy Dog World with your host, pet expert, and award-winning author Liz Palaika, and this week's co-hosts, Kate Abbott and Petra Burke.
Welcome to It's a Doggy Dog World. I'm your host, Liz Palaika, and with me tonight are my good friends, Petra Burke.
Hello.
And Kate Abbott.
Howdy.
And it's that time of year again. I think just about every year we've done this podcast. I think we're going on our 4th year, or are we going on our 5th year?
No, I'm time impaired, don't I?
Yeah, okay. Anyway, this time of year we always talk about New Year's resolutions. And in the past we've shared with you some of our resolutions for our dogs. Some of which we've been real good about, others we won't talk about. But in this podcast, I thought we would talk a little bit about what some other people are saying their resolutions are for their pets. And then in the second half of the show, I'm going to second guess what my dogs would like my resolutions for them to be, or what they would like me to do. And then perhaps maybe what I really am going to do. You know, a little bit of reality in there. But we thought we'd talk about New Year's resolutions, but do it a little different. So anyway, stay tuned. We'll be back in just a second.
Sit. Stay. It's a Doggy Dog World. We'll be right back after a short pause. Well, 4 to be exact.
Buster, you're telling me my dog food products can't go on your shelves?
That's right. Didn't pass one of my Petco certified nutrition checklists. Sorry, Wayne.
Who made these checklists?
Geniuses. Very smart guys.
Well, it's good enough for most grocery stores.
Do you see cheese puffs on my shelves? Mayonnaise? Soda pop?
No.
That's because I ain't running no grocery store, Wayne. Your pets will get better nutrition. I guarantee it. Petco, where the healthy pets go.
Go to PetLifeRadio.com/Petco and get $6 off your order of $60 or more and up to 40% off hundreds of items at Petco. PetLifeRadio.com/Petco.
Dyson.
The new Dyson Animal Vacs are powerful bagless upright vacuums for homes with pets. Air muscle and radio root cyclone technology generates the strongest suction power to powerfully remove dust, dirt, and pet hair from the home or car. To order your Dyson Animal Vac, go to PetLifeRadio.com/Dyson. PetLifeRadio.com/Dyson to order your Dyson Animal Vac today.
Dyson. Music to your ears.
Hi everybody, I'm Megan Blake here with my sidekick Super Smiley, the giant mutt and spokes dog for throwaways. You're listening to Pet Life Radio, and I'd like to tell you about our brand new show, A Super Smiley Adventure. Our show explores adventures with animals. They can be traveling, out in the world trips, or inner journeys where our animals lead us to inspiration and self-discovery, or just plain fun adventures. Join us here on Pet Life Radio on A Super Smiley Adventure. Good boy.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com. We know you're begging for more. So back to It's a Doggy Dog World with your fetching hosts, Liz Palaika, and this week's co-hosts, Kate Abbott and Petra Burke.
Welcome back to It's a Doggy Dog World. So, a couple weeks ago, I saw an article, and I won't name the writer's name or the newspaper or anything like that, but it was about celebrity pet owners and their New Year's resolutions for their pets. And I have to say, here it got a few grumbles from Kate and I and Petra and a few, what? So we won't name celebrity names either, but some of them you'll probably be able to guess. So anyway.
Although I am quite ready to send an email right away to the celebrity who said that his dog wanted him to grill more pork chops so that he could have the pork chop bones. Yeah, that's dangerous.
That's wrong.
Okay, that's...
And that's certainly not something that a responsible celebrity pet owner should promote. Dogs can have some bones, but they should be raw bones, and they should be big enough that your dog can't shatter them. And pork chop bones are too easily shattered. Those could cause an emergency trip to the veterinarian and severe damage to your dog. There is a celebrity dog trainer who shall go unnamed, who apparently doesn't need to make any resolutions, and he just wants his dog to continue being as perfect as he is, and that's wonderful. Obviously, he thinks he's perfect, so we'll leave it there.
Okay.
But as we said, she'll go unnamed.
There's one celebrity I've always liked, and she said that her wish for herself and for her dogs that she thought they would agree with was to go more places with her, especially on interviews, and be right by her side.
That's good.
I like that one.
That's good. Also, there's a former game show host who's famous for his advocacy for animals, and he said he wished his rabbit would hit the litter box a little more often. That's a pretty good New Year's resolution. Now, I think he's got to help the rabbit a little bit to hit the litter box. But that's a good resolution, because I know he didn't say whether it was urine or feces, but rabbit urine is pretty corrosive. Hopefully he's hitting the litter box for that.
And it is quite possible to litter train a rabbit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mine were, or eventually. They didn't come that way, but eventually.
Well, considering, his stature in life, he may have a large house. Does he have enough litter pans?
Well, and that's what they say for rabbits, is you do not want the rabbit to have to go searching for one, because he won't make it.
Well, just the other day I was on a private with a mass of toy poodles, and they wanted help with the house training. I was like, where do you want them to go? Well, they have a large house. And it was way on the other side of the house from where they all hang out.
Oh.
And there were 2 gates in the way.
That's not going to work.
I'm like, how were they supposed to let you? There's a great area right here, right off of where they were.
Yeah.
And we talked about how they could clean it already had a doggy door in it.
Oh, well, that's perfect.
That at least one of the dogs was already using. So let's set it up. We talked about how to set up and use it, and then get the other ones to enjoy using it as well as the one who did.
Yeah.
So anyway, I don't know about the bunny rabbit, but I hope that he gets more litter boxes available to him. So there. It's one thing to have wishes for our animals. It's another to help them make it practical. Yes.
Achieve it.
Yes.
I mean, what is she here? She's an actress. 7 dogs. I don't know if she has so many dogs. But hers was just a simple one. To feed them consistently on time in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh, so maybe she sleeps in the morning.
Obviously.
And they don't.
Yeah.
Well, I like the fact that she feeds them too. It's not.
She doesn't have hired help doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
That says something right there.
Well, in reality, we know that many of the people who, how shall we say this nicely, in the upper income levels / busy lives and or often do have hired help.
They have to.
Yeah.
They're going to be gone quite often.
Yeah. I mean, you've run into that with your private training. Many of the people that you go to in the well-to-do neighborhoods have hired help.
Yeah.
But thankfully, many of the ones you've run into have hired help that are conscientious about helping with the pets.
Yeah.
And so, in their case, the New Year's resolution's got to take in the hired help, too.
And that's part of making sure everyone succeeds, is asking who actually does this stuff. Let's work with them.
Sure. And then there was a few resolutions in here that we had some giggles about. One singer resolved to not have to beg her dog to eat.
Because he would prefer to be fed, to be cajoled and begged, and to be fed one mouthful at a time by hand.
Yes.
He has her well trained.
I think he does.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And then there's another one, an actress who is hoping that her dog be less the center of attention. Apparently he likes everybody to be paying attention to him and not the people having a conversation. But again, that owners are.
Yeah, that was said laughingly, I hope, and sort of not a big deal.
Yep.
I was a little concerned about the one who said she would like her dog to be a little less aggressive.
Yeah.
That's a worry.
Yeah.
So after we giggled and pointed out stuff, one of the first things we all said was, nobody's really talking about more training.
No. And there's some behavioral issues with a few of them that could be a little concerning.
Certainly being aggressive to people.
Being aggressive to people, needing to be begged to eat can be an issue. Having some training could be a good thing, even for a celebrity. Now, to go on to more New Year's resolutions, Halo, Purely for Pets, published a survey on their New Year's resolutions. And in this, they asked over 1,000 pet parents who participated in their survey what their New Year's resolutions were for their own private pets. And several of them were overwhelmingly, a large number of pet parents felt they could do a better job grooming their pets, with 68% resolving to trim their pets' nails more often. Now, I have to admit, I brush my dogs often and I clean them up, but I don't do the nails as often as I should. I need to do a better job with the nails, so I could add myself to that 68%.
I did all 3 of my kids today, and as I was saying, and you got to do this more often, so I don't have to take as long.
Yeah, I just did mine last weekend.
Same
thing.
So that's very true. I could trim my dog's nails more often. 52% plan to give their dogs and cats more baths.
No, I don't want to bath my cat. No, I don't want to bathe him.
I don't bathe.
I resolve not to.
I don't give Xena the Warrior Princess Cat a bath very often, and no, have no desire to increase that. The Aussies rarely need baths, so they don't get baths often. Now, Kate, I think you do more bathing than any of us.
Yeah. Well, I am. I've already resolved.
Let's back
Thank you for my dogs.
Your dogs, not
I did
us,
resolve in the last couple of days, and I've already implemented that resolution to prevent Walter from getting into the creek in the pond here on the training field, so that I don't have to take him home and bathe him.
Well, we've got like a theme going. We resolve not to bathe our cats. I
want to prevent him from getting so mucky that he cannot be in the house without a bath.
And for those of you who might not be regular listeners, Walter is Kate's 7-year-old cockapoo who has the curly, almost poodleish coat. And he's very much...
He's a Swiffer. He picks up everything.
He's a boy's boy dog, and he's rough and rowdy, and he loves to go charging through the brush. But the Aussies will come out of the brush with maybe 1 or 2 stickers on him, and he will be covered. Yeah. And when they go tromping in the creek or the pond here at the Kindred Spirits training yard, they'll get a little muddy, but then it dries and shakes off, and Walter comes up covered with mud. So there's very much a different...
Swamp monster.
What did it took you about 45 seconds one day
to brush off
the dogs. Your Aussies.
Yeah.
It took me, 25, 30 minutes to get at least all of the burrs out of him.
Yeah. Never mind the dirt and the mud.
Right. Yeah. That was a separate issue dealt with later. So, yes, I'm trying to prevent that problem. He already gets a bath, usually once a week or 2 for his therapy dog work. So I don't want to have to do it more often.
All right, continuing with the survey, it said a little more than 35% of the pet owners plan to give their pets supplements, primarily to help their coat and skin. I think if the pet is fed a good diet, you don't need the extra supplements.
Again, I was doing a private training of some wealthy people. And they do love their dogs, and they try very hard to take good care of them. While I was there, husband started getting the meal ready for their dogs. There were 5 bowls for 5 dogs. And there had to be 3 or 4 pump jars, the cans of food, the things out of the refrigerator. I mean, all of it was good. Cottage cheese, yogurt, pumpkin. But,
But what kind of food did they pull out?
It was a decent canned food. But they had so many supplements and oils and powders and this and that. And, what's that one for? That's just because we like to give it to... That we did stop and talk about nutrition for a little bit. I said, you're trying to do the best, but
when you add that many supplements, you offset the nutritional balance of whatever the food might have been. Yeah. So even if the food was a relatively good quality food, if you're adding that much to it, who knows what the end result is?
Yeah, and they've got two whose, one whose blood sugar levels have been bouncing all over the place. Well, that doesn't surprise me if they're just sort of, well, today we'll do a little bit of this supplement and a little bit of that supplement. Anyway.
Yeah.
So it was like, yeah, you can spend money and get them a really good food and actually do good for them.
Sure.
Instead of trying to patch
save
it up.
money.
Yeah.
Instead of buying stuff.
Now my guys do get some supplements. Riker, my old man, does get a super duper glucosamine chondroitin supplement. And it is helping. I started him on a new one a couple of weeks ago, and I actually have seen improvement. So he'll be staying on that one. Bashir's 7.5 now. I can't bear to admit it, but he's 7.5 now. So he's on a glucosamine chondroitin supplement. And other than that, I feed him the best food
Sometimes
available.
I think we do get caught up, so many of us, with food is love. Mm-hmm. And so, therefore, I will show my dogs how much I love them by adding even more supplements, which makes us feel better.
Right.
But doesn't always, and except in the case of a medical condition where something is needed, doesn't always really help them.
Right. Now, another part of the survey that was very interesting was 46% of the people who answered want to help their pets lose weight. Well, considering that obesity is a huge, and not a pun intended, a huge problem. No pun intended. That's just the way it came out. Was that a growing?
Okay, wait. But what percentage wanted to give them supplements?
Yeah. 35% plan to give their pets supplements, and 46% want to help their pets lose weight.
And let's go back to just good nutrition in the first place, folks, for
Right.
both problems. But
Exactly.
anyway.
Well, 89% said they want to help their pets get more exercise.
Well, that's
good. Awesome.
I can get behind that one.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
That's good.
I can get behind that idea right there. Get up and do some exercise.
Exactly. 89%. That's wonderful.
Because then you can feed them more good food and show them you love them because they've worked more.
Right. Exactly. Now, I will say with that, my guys are doing fine. They get plenty of exercise almost every single day. Maybe Sunday I'll take the day off. But other than that, they get lots of exercise. And they're pretty hardcore. Riker's still losing some weight from when my mom had him while I was on vacation. But he's lost a little bit of it. The two younger ones are hard bodies.
The ones I saw today, they actually were not that much overweight, but they were so flabby.
Oh, they were soft.
Yeah. So
That's too
that was
bad.
a case of toning.
Yes.
But, that comes back to the training and not getting as long or as walks as they needed because it was too frustrating for the owner. So,
Sure. 68% of the owners said they wanted to play with their pets more.
Okay.
And I like that too.
Because training can be play.
But that's kind of a high percentage.
Yeah, well, that's like those poor pets aren't getting... Well, it doesn't say that they're not playing with them. It says they want to play with them more.
Oh, more. Okay.
So,
And that's almost as much for the owner's benefit.
sure.
Yeah.
De-stresses us too.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It should.
And then people who responded to the survey were also invited to add some of their own ideas. And we liked several of these. One of these that I could go for, get an RV so we don't have to leave the pets home for vacation.
Well, you never do.
No.
I mean, we never leave them behind.
Yeah.
And we have done an RV.
Yes, we have done the RV vacation several times, and it's great. I love it, but we usually rent one.
Right.
I wouldn't mind getting one.
Of course, I do like the going from dog-friendly resort to dog-friendly resort
That's
idea, but
fun,
that's
too.
not always possible. So the RV in
yeah.
between times. So.
There've been some fun resorts. Too.
Here's another one that's right up our alley, and that's about a therapy pet, but this one is train my cat to be a therapy pet.
Yes.
And I've had a therapy cat. The cat I have now cannot be a therapy pet, but I've had a therapy cat in the past, and if I get a new kitten, I'd love to make him a therapy pet. It was a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Another response that I wasn't quite sure, more car and wagon rides. I understand car rides, but I wonder what the wagon ride is.
I don't know.
Unless they have a
Hayride?
horse and maybe
no
they have
idea.
a horse and wagon. I'm not sure. But
Is that what they call their pickup truck?
I don't
wagon?
know. But
Yeah.
Again, our pets get lots
But
of
it still
car
translates
rides.
into more time together. I like that.
Sure. Another one was to make sure they keep up on their pets' wellness veterinarian visits.
Always a good idea.
That's good too.
Yeah.
I know when times are tough and money's tight, sometimes it's hard to think of that annual visit to the veterinarian for a wellness check, even if your pet doesn't need boosters. But it is important. And then another one, Petra and I both said absolutely no to.
Yeah, attempt to walk my cat using a harness.
Can you imagine Xenia, the warrior cat? She would come right up that leash and right up my arm and right up my head.
Oh,
right across your face?
Right across my face.
Oh, my God.
I come to you as one who has done it, and it's possible.
Oh.
But it does require the right temperament cat.
Yeah.
My cat that was a therapy cat walked on a leash.
There you go.
We would walk into a facility and it was hysterical because he would walk right in, leading the dogs he was on his harness and leash, and the dogs followed him. His tail in the air like a flag going, I know where I'm going, you may follow me.
That's right.
He was a great cat. I still miss him. But the cat I have now, nuh-uh.
No. I mean, she has calmed down and warmed up in her older age, but
Not that much. Not that much. All right, well, let's take a word for our sponsors, and we'll be back and talk to you about some of our ideas for our own pets. So hold on, we'll be right back.
Sit. Stay. It's a doggy dog world. We'll be right back after a short pause. Well, 4 to be exact.
Every pet is unique. Maybe they're gray in the muzzle, yet young at heart. Maybe they're growing out of the puppy stage and into their paws and ears. Or maybe they're just trying to maintain a more girlish figure. At PetSmart, we have the right food for your pet at a great value for you. PetSmart. Be better together.
Go to PetLifeRadio.com/PetSmart and save up to 30% on toys, collars, leashes, PetSmart gift cards, treats, and more. Go to PetLifeRadio.com/PetSmart today.
Love your pets but wish their medications were a lot less expensive? They are at 1-800-PET-MEDS. You'll not only save on flea and heartworm medications, but on prescriptions for arthritis, incontinence, thyroid, and more. And you get fast service, free shipping, and a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Plus, our licensed pharmacists ensure accuracy, monitor drug interaction, and more. See why over 5 million people have trusted their pet's health to 1-800-PET-MEDS, America's largest pet pharmacy. Call now or order online.
Go to PetMeds.com/world, WORLD, to get 10% off any order and free shipping on orders of $39 or more at PetMeds.com.
Welcome to Sassy Seniors, a show about our fabulous older dogs and cats. I'm your host, Kelly Jackson. I wanted to create a show to really showcase our senior pets. And, as the human population ages and lives longer, of course, so are our wonderful pets. But many of us with aging pets, it's so interesting. We have a tough time realizing or really admitting that they are seniors. So, in a way, I kind of like to think of our senior pets as wise puppies. What do you think about that? Be sure to join us for another edition of Sassy Seniors. And remember, celebrate your senior pets.
Every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com. We know you're begging for more. So back to It's a Doggy Dog World with your fetching hosts, Liz Palika, and this week's co-hosts, Kate Abbott and Petra Burke.
Welcome back to It's a Doggy Dog World. We're talking about New Year's resolutions. And I know the first one I have for my dogs is, in fact, I've already talked to Kate about it, our next therapy dog class. I told Kate that I would not be assisting in the teaching, and so I want to take Cisco through it again. He graduated last year, but then I didn't start him visiting because I said he was too immature. He was still very adolescent. But he's showing signs that he's growing up, and he's showing signs that he's going to be a really nice therapy dog. He loves to snuggle. So on Kindred Spirits' next therapy dog class, I'm going to take him through it again and then get him started on his visiting and get certified. So that's
a good one.
Yeah, that's my goal for Cisco this year.
That's a good one. Mm-hmm. Do I have one? No. I haven't thought about it. The new year snuck up so darn quick.
We'll be back in a moment.
No.
Bashir, I'd like to do more trick training with. I started doing some trick training with Bashir this last year, and he really likes it. And especially since Cisco, being an adolescent, has been getting a lot of my training attention. I think for Bashir, doing a little more trick training so he gets that individual attention. And it's silly, and we laugh, and he barks, and it's, he knows it's fun, and it's just silly stuff.
That's probably one thing I do more. I've been trying to play more with it, is the trick training for Rio. Have fun with it. He likes it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something
Trick
different.
training is still training.
He always smiles and laughs. It doesn't matter. He's a grinner.
Yeah, he really enjoyed his time with you on the trip.
And that's one thing on both of the surveys, the celebrity and the Halo survey, was very little on training, which is so sad. Come on, folks. Training doesn't have to be,
I want to go for a ride. I want to go play with my
much.
dog more. And I'm like, well, I want my dogs or my cats to be with me more often. All of that is solved.
Oh, yeah.
With training.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can go for more walks without being as frustrated as the woman was today.
Right.
You can take your pets more places.
Yeah.
Like we do.
Yeah. She enjoyed going for the walk today.
And how many
when they were
people like
well-behaved.
to hear, oh, look at them, what well-behaved dogs.
How do you do that?
Or when you're at a patio eating dinner and then you get up to leave and they're like, oh, I didn't know there was dogs here.
Oh,
that makes you feel good.
That one time we went to dinner at the Oceanside Harbor, and I think there were 6 dogs under the table.
Oh my gosh.
And when we got up, walked away, people are going, 1, 2, 3. Oh my gosh, I didn't know they were all there.
Yeah.
And the waiter said, oh, those dogs are better behaved than most children that come to the restaurant. It's all training. So, how about you, Kate? What are your goals?
Make more clothes for Quill.
Make more clothes. He has been an interesting wrench in my life. It's a good wrench, but a good wrench. Sorry. All the talks we've done on various podcasts about planning and choosing of a pet, and then
one comes in unexpectedly,
and I go for it.
Yeah.
And because he was 6 months when I got him, and just a whole different kind of personality. Well, that's what I went in expecting. Anyway. I've sort of spent the last 6 months sort of gently guiding, but also just kind of watching him and being amazed by him. And actually, it's time for me to start working more with him. There was so much adjusting, and not only for me, but for my other 2 dogs.
I was a little surprised, too, that you've been as slow to start the training as you have.
I have. Yeah. And I was trying to figure that a lot of it has been life skills.
Sure.
You cannot run down the street away from me.
Sure.
That's kind of basic.
Yeah.
Not important.
Yeah, you can't chase the cat. No. You can't get in the cat litter box. It's like I've spent a lot of time on life skills, and I'm happy with where he's come to that.
Sure.
But, yeah, just the traditional. Also, it's the time of year when I normally would take a dog in my house and have them be out in class working. And because he gets cold...
Oh, boy. But he can demo and then go back to the blankie.
But I leave him in the office in a crate under a pile of blankets.
Yeah,
I haven't even been taking him down.
And then use my puppy to demo.
Exactly.
Which is fine. I don't mind you using my puppy to demo. But
if I look back, because he shivers. Hey, you think I'm being played for a fool? When we went on the trip, he actually bonded with Liz to the point where she would say, "Where's his jacket? He's cold."
I admit that's true.
And
I don't like clothes on dogs, but I have to admit he was cold.
He was cold, and it made him anyway.
Yes.
So I guess I'll just justification excuses, but I have not done with him like I've done with the others.
I really expected you would be doing more tricks with him like you've done with Walter.
And I have at home, he's got spin and touch and stuff like that. I just haven't been...
That's so basic for you.
Yeah, well, that's true. I don't know.
Your New Year's resolution is to do more with him.
I've just been sitting back and enjoying him.
Well, that's fine too, but that doesn't mean you can't do other stuff.
And that's true too. But
take him to a new level
and getting him,
see what he does,
so that he could live in my house without being killed by me or the other dogs.
Sure,
and
especially the Rottweiler
and Walter.
Yeah, well, that's true. Walter's been pretty teed off at him too,
and he's been teaching Walter a lot. And there's a part of me that's just been watching that.
Sure,
he's teaching Walter to have better control of his temper.
Yeah. Good.
So that's fascinating for me. Anyway, so yes, I do need to. You're going to start taking Cisco to therapy class. I'm going to take him through some basic classes.
Sure. Sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Except when it's cold.
Oh, boy.
So Saturdays.
Bodysuit. Earmuffs.
Saturdays.
Ugg boots for puppies.
Now, yes, I admit I'm now looking at all. I can't believe. I can't believe I'm doing it. I even sewed him as one.
We picked up we hold him. It's like, his feet are cold. Or his ears are cold.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And he looks so pitiful.
Maybe modeling is his next career.
Probably.
Modeling.
He is very photogenic. Thank you.
Yes.
Now, since we've been on break from our classes, and we've been coming just to walk and talk and let the dogs be here without having to do anything, I've been bringing Gina.
Right.
Because I didn't bring her during classes because the cold is bad on her arthritis, and she would cry for the next couple of days. But by coming in the early afternoon, walking, and then taking her home, I've been doing that regularly. Now, she's twice as glued to me. Walter got between us a little bit, and he was so pushy and needed so much of my time that she learned to sit back a little bit. I still had time with her. Now then, busy terriers come along. He takes even more of my time. Plus, even him and Walter together take more of my time. And I would look at her and think, well, she's kind of going over to my roommate and cuddling with her, and that's good. They both hang out at home. And But since I started bringing her, now she's following me around the house. Of course, she's limping and crying while she does it.
Yes.
Oh, poor old little girl.
So, sum it up. My resolution is to take at least one, and I did this already this week.
Okay.
I take her with me on at least one thing I do, and
By
then
herself.
We go for a little bit of a walk.
Sure. Yeah.
And then we come home. So she gets that time with me, just going for a ride in the car or the wagon, as the one person said.
Yeah.
But just her.
Yeah.
A little bit of a walk at her pace in the sunshine. And then we come home.
Well, she and Riker may not acknowledge each other a whole lot. But when we've been doing these walks in the afternoon, Riker, well, they both start out moving around pretty well. And the younger dog's ranging and running and back and forth and back and forth. And then as they slow down, Riker walks in front of us and Gina walks behind us. And then we've been putting them in the office yard together while we finish the walks with the younger dogs. And they actually remain in close proximity to each other.
While pretending the other one doesn't exist.
Yeah, they don't really want to acknowledge that the other is there, but they're within feet of each other.
Yeah.
It's really kind of funny. Whereas, how little does she know if she snuggled up to him? He's got a really warm coat.
Yeah.
It's like, Gina, lean up against the old dog.
Aiming for our dogs to have successful behavior means also being realistic about who they are. Yeah, she's not likely to snuggle. No more than Xena's likely to walk nicely
on a leash, yeah.
But anyway, to give her at least a little bit of time.
Sure.
To give the youngest boy, more structured time.
Sure.
And then to go back to working in some more tricks and stuff with Walter.
Yeah.
Each one will now have a little bit of time on their own.
Right. Yeah.
That's important.
Yeah. All right. Well, hopefully with all our ramblings and ideas, it'll give you some ideas for resolutions for your dogs. But regardless of what you decide to do, I hope you tune in to our podcast in the future. And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Have a good one.
Having a rough day? Longing for the dog days of summer? Think your fun furry friend lives a dog's life? Well, find out everything you're begging to know as Pet Life Radio presents It's a Doggy Dog World with pet expert and award-winning author Liz Palaika. Every dog has his day, and you'll find out how to make your dog's day fun and rewarding. Every week, on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.